Good evening, Kalina, and good evening also, Edwin.
Well, we have a very special night. As you know, Edwin emailed his questions to us, so I will be the voice for the evening reading his questions.
Yes, it is very exciting to do so.
Are you ready to go?
Yes, the energy is connected very well, and I am very excited to connect to you all in this moment.
Wonderful. Well, the very first question that Edwin wanted to know about was to give an opening statement about 2015, basically a general overview of what 2015 will be about.
Yes! When you are looking at the year 2015 in general, there are many different energies that come into play in this specific realm. First of all, we wish to express what it is in the end of 2014. There are very many energies that are at play in the time or area that you would deem to be your winter solstice, and in this specific winter solstice you are able to release a great amount of energy, and as you're beginning of the first quarter of the year into your equinox, the very first equinox of 2015, there will be a gradual decline of the energy that you perceive to be difficult and tough. There will also be a reconnection of many of you to entities that were once in your past, reconnecting to old friends, disconnecting from people who you are connected with in this time. When you are perceiving people who are perceived as friends or family, many of the entities in your planet at this time are now passing. They are now transitioning into different existences. And what is occurring specifically in this first quarter of the year is that many of the entities who did not pass in the end of the year 2014 will begin to pass away in the beginning of 2015. And this is very simply because in the new energy in which they are in, they no longer can sustain. They are not willing to let go of certain energies that define who they are. And this is not negative, nor is it positive. It is not a judgment. This is only a simple seeing of the way that the energy interacts with all. When you have an entity who associates themselves with being perhaps a mother or a father, or perhaps associates themselves with being a construction worker, when they begin to see that there are more facets in their existence, that expansion is knocking upon their front door, when they are desiring growth within the overall energy, but not accompanying the energy that is more relative to growth within that time period, then what they are doing is choosing to leave the incarnation so that they do not have to make a very painful transition. So instead of transitioning their energy to expansion or growth beyond what they can perceive that they are, they transition literally from physical entity to a non-physical entity. And this is one of the very greatest energies in the very first portion of the year. There are many other energies, and as we understand the specific timing, we could express many of these, but this is one that will be very prominent and very noticeable. The second energy that will be in the first quarter of the next year, that will be also very prominent, is that when you are perceiving ideas of expansion or ideas of growth, you will now be able to, in this year, find new ways to express yourself within the expansion. For instance, let us say that your excitement is to teach others, to spread information, and to help grow. Now what you are doing is reassigning your energy to do the same excitement, but do it in different ways. You are reinventing your own energies and the way that you express these excitements because of the energy in the end of 2014 and the beginning of 2015. It allows you to see any area in which you have resistance. It also allows you to be able to experience the expressions of growth in different ways, least resistant ways. This will be the very first quarter of the year. In the second quarter of the year, to the half of year if you will, when you are looking at the energy of this also continues your ability to expand yourself in different new innovative ways, but it will also accompany yourself with winding down into an energy. Instead of the frantic energy that accompanies the first quarter of the year, the second quarter will be more of a flatlining of energy, one that expresses that you are now finding your comfort zone and your new expressions. This will be one that is very good in relationships. This will show you the greatest energies of all of the relationships that you are dealing with, and the ones that you hold on to for no reason, the ones that you hold on to because in your mind you believe that it is a must. All of these things will be revealed quite clearly in the second quarter of the year. In the third quarter of the year, going back to the second equinox, if you will, when you experience this idea, or when you experience the third quarter of the year, what you are going to experience is again an energy that comes to you that expresses if there is anything that you have not found a way to reinvent yourself with, if there is a way that you are still holding on to resistance, it will give you quite a very high energetic push, one that is similar to what we've experienced or expressed as the two uncles scenario, one who teaches you to swim, one who throws you in the water. The third quarter of the year of 2015 is any of these energies that will not budge themselves, ones that restrict you from expansion. You will have the uncle that pushes you in the water, and this can be felt as very good and liberating if you are willing to let go of your energies, if you are willing to expand within yourself. But if you are beginning to not be able to let go of these energies, then it will be very difficult in this period. And then you have the last quarter of the year, which is the same area of the year that you are looking at in this moment, the very last quarter of the year. And in next year you will begin to see, in a collective sense, more entities willing to express their own heart outwardly and publicly. You will also begin to see more people accepting others whose ideas and opinions are much different than theirs. Then you will be able also to experience letting go of some of the very greatest things of humanity in general that can be very repressive, or perhaps depressive is a word, depressed of the energy of human collective consciousness. Much of the energy will help us let go. Let us express that in the year 2015, also there will be many energies that will allow many more humans to be able to experience what you perceive as UFO connections, being able to see crafts, being able to see interactions. As you are aware, CE5 is something that you have labeled the close encounter of the fifth kind, where you are calling in crafts and connecting to them. In this year, many more entities will practice upon this and will see such a great success rate. So all of the energies, the veil between yourself and what you perceive as the galactic consciousness, the galactic collection of entities that are connected to you, all of these veils will become much thinner. And this is what we can express about 2015 in general or in whole.
Oh, thank you so much, Trev. That is amazing. Wow.
Yes, it is very exciting as well.
Well, the next question that Edwin has for us has to do with California and awakening. He says there is a lot of talk about significant earth changes coming in 2015. When do you think California will experience another major earthquake, and how does that relate to the awakening of our collective consciousness?
Yes! Let us express that, as you are aware, the Earth's collective consciousness is an energy that is changing consistently, that any energy that is here in this moment can and will change in the next moment. With this being said, what we perceive in probability-wise, when you are looking at the area that you now call California, the southern area is a very high energy, one that is very similar to between the area, the heart chakra and throat chakra, and the energy that you perceive if you were to lay the earth collective consciousness into a chakra grid, much as a human, you would see this between the heart and throat chakra. So in this energy, the earth collective consciousness, much as humans, must release energy. And when energy is being released at a high rate, this often comes as a consequence or external manifestation of violent weather, of earthquakes, of natural disasters. So all of these things are not truly negative. It is only perceived by the human collective consciousness as a negative concept. But when you see it for what it is, then when you lay the grid of what we are expressing, the energy forecast, if you will, of the area that you perceive to be 2015, that if you lay the energy side by side, the highest probability of release of energy in that specific area between Southern California and Sedona, the energy release would be most likely to be within the third quarter of the year. Now, when you are looking at the specific months, the August area or the month before August, these two areas are ones that will be very high in energy release, and these would be the highest probability of the Earth collective consciousness releasing energy in a natural way. We are not expressing that this will come as an earthquake, but it is possible that an earthquake may come of this, and this is the energy that is perceived in the now moment. What we can say that if you desire to circumvent this energy being released so violently or negatively amongst your collective consciousness, there are many things that you can do to help circumvent this. Raising awareness of your own mind, your own self-conscious, your own conscious mind is a very first step. When you are able to be aware of your thought process, when you are able to see the belief systems that no longer work for you, the resistance within your own energy, mind and heart, and being able to release them in a very pleasant way or in a very excited way, this is one very great way to work upon yourself. And many entities perceive that if I am working within myself, how am I able to help others? What we can express to you is by working in yourself, this is helping others. The more of you that are able to let go of your energy of resistance, the more that you are able to expand yourself, the more that you are able to release judgments, and the more that you are able to see all entities as a portion of yourself, as a part of oneness, as all of your connections without labels, lines, or judgments. All of these things can be the very greatest way to help circumvent an energy of release of a magnitude that can be discomfortable for others.
Wow. And just a little side note, when you were talking about Southern California, that area especially being connected to the heart and the throat, it seems like if people are especially working on these areas, that would also help to circumvent in that particular area. Would this be correct?
Yes, this can be very useful. By working on the same energy that the earth energy around yourself is vibrant to and resonant to, this can be very useful.
And I would like to add one other small note. Maybe we can do a later session around the world, the different continents, to help anyone in the end of 2014 and also throughout 2015, so that no matter what location someone is in, they'll know what specifically they can be working upon. Of course, they can be working upon everything in general, but it would be very helpful to know people in different areas where they're at and what it means energetically for them, the region that they're in, what they're working on as a little collective there. Does that interest you, Trev? Shall we work on that?
Any of these ideas that are exciting for you are always interesting.
Wonderful.
To me.
Yeah, California, as you know, is very near and dear to my heart. So.
Yes.
Okay, well, the next question that Edwin has for us has to do with economic changes. He says, lots of people are waiting for a new economic system. Do you see any positive economic changes coming in 2015?
Yes, there can be many of these. The way that the energy is working in this moment is that many entities are becoming very tired of having the suppressive energy, but it has not hit a critical mass yet. It has not caught on to entirety of the collective consciousness, nor has it hit the majority point. Although there are many entities who are tired of this energetically, they are not coming up with answers within their own hearts. They are not coming up with solutions that will help them bypass the need to be in a system that is not conducive to them. So what we can say, and what we have always said, if you wish to help push along the concepts of not living in a system that you do not feel resonant with or do not vibrate within the same level in, is bypass your need to have the things that this system requires you to have. It requires you to have money, it requires you to buy products, it requires you to use the amenities that it provides to you. So the way that you are able to help circumvent this is to find ways to travel more cheaply, to find ways to grow your own foods, to find ways to live off of the land. We are seeing a name of a science that many humans are connecting to at this time, one that helps them live off of the smallest amount in which they are able to use, and also be able to make the maximum capacity of living off of this. We are not remembering what the name of this is called, but perhaps many entities who are more interested in learning these ideas, this can help them live in an energy that is not needed to have the system in which they do not resonate with. As this energy is becoming more tired, we believe that many humans, in probabilities of the highest nature, will begin to explore these ideas of how to remove themselves. But what must happen first in order to remove this financial system is to gain a critical mass. There are many of you who are awakening your hearts and awakening your minds, expanding the hearts, expanding the minds into areas of energy and once never was experienced previous 9 years to the area. Now it would be 12 years. And as you begin to look into the energy more deeply, the more that you are able to let go of the system that has always been dependent on having many humans rely upon it, the more that you release of this, the more that you can make way for your own energies. In the year 2015, with the probability of less than 12%, there will be very large changes, but what we can say is that the largest probability of change that will be within 2015 is that many of the entities who are within the government regions, who are experiencing laws that deal with money, that deal with the way that perhaps it is not conducive to help humanity, many of these laws will be looked at much more deeply by experiencing the entities who are voting for them, the delegates. This is not the proper word. Constituents. This is the word. The constituents of these entities who make the laws will place pressure upon them within the highest probability of over 62%. And if the entities who are the constituents continue to push pressure, continue to express their own vocalizing of what they desire, of laws that remove the ability to use money in negative ways, this can help push this probability much higher.
Oh, thank you.
Yes!
Okay, so the next question that Edwin has to do with UFO events, and you've already touched upon that topic, but I'll go ahead and read his question so it's a little bit more specific. Edwin asks, will 2015 be a big year for UFO activity? If so, where and when can we expect the next major UFO sighting to occur?
Yes! There are many areas in this world at this time that are considerably much higher in probability to connect to UFO sightings on a mass scale. When you are looking at the southwestern portions of the United States, if you are looking in the same regions that we've expressed, the southwest area between the area of Southern California and Arizona, this is one place that perhaps in the second quarter of the year can be very useful for larger sightings. But when you are looking also into the Great Lake region, this can also be a very great one. This will be more so towards the third quarter of the year. That will be in the highest probability, and this is in the United States area. But when you are looking upon worldwide, there are southeastern European countries. We are not sure of the names, but it is in the area that once the old country that you would be calling Czechoslovakia would be. In this area, we believe now is close to the concept of Croatia, Serbia. In this specific area, there will be a high probability at the end of 2015 for great amounts of sightings. We also see that in Western Europe that this can be a very strong possibility as well towards the end of 2015. But in the very beginning of the year 2015, there is a high probability of an area that is within South America, that is northwest of Brazil area, of the coast of Brazil. It could be in Brazil or west of Brazil, and these are the highest probabilities that are in this specific moment as we speak.
Oh, that's very exciting. So it looks like 2015 is going to be a really fun year if we allow it.
Yes! Understanding that when you are looking forward into time, it is just as fluid as the now moment is, even more fluid because it is not the now of the now. And when you see it in this way, you understand that when you focus upon connecting to your now moment and creating that moment, that all of the next moments will fall in place quite nicely. As yourself and as the host is seen, that when you truly place your energy into the now moment in your excitements, when you look into this now moment, only concerned of what is in that moment, nothing before and nothing after, then this is when the magic is made.
Oh. Well, Trev, thank you so much for joining us tonight and for answering Edwin's questions and for sharing your heart with the collective again.
Yes, you are very welcome. Before we disconnect, we wish to express to all of you that in this next year there will be many energetic shifts, as there is always energy that is bombarding, if you will, the Earth collective consciousness, but more so it is bombarding your heart and mind in a way that can help you expand or can help you find what is most desirable or least desirable to yourself. Being aware of your own thoughts in each moment, being aware of what resonates and what does not, by placing yourself in the action state within your excitements in each moment, not focusing upon what is next or before, these are all the keys to create the greatest reality that you desire in each moment. And with this being expressed, we will leave you all this evening in love and in light, and we will experience each other again very soon. Good night.
Thank you, Trev. Good night.
Yes!
Oh.